video, I'll be talking all about goals. Why to set goals, what goals to set, how to set goals, and some templates and structures that can help you map that out, and how to achieve those goals. So if there's anything that you've aimed towards, there's things that you're aiming towards and you haven't quite got there, or you're not sure how to, this video is for you. Welcome to I Am. I'm Rav, founder of I Am, and I'm going to talk all about goals. Let's go. Welcome to the Goals Toolkit. By the end of this video, you should have a calendarized slot for at least 2 hours to think about and set goals. You should have a template and a structure to be able to map that out that you can reference at any point in the future. And you should also have a list of reasons behind that with SMART goals. If you've ever heard of SMART goals, great. If not, we'll talk through that later in the video. The first thing I want to focus on is why. Why even set goals? Scientifically, it's been proven that if you write your goals down on a piece of paper, you are 42% more likely to achieve them. Now, even as I say this to you, a lot of people will not write their goals down. Why? I don't know. Those reasons are beyond me. But the science is there, and I am all about increasing my odds and probability. I'm going to speak to the logic brain inside of us and say, we can increase our odds of success if we play a numbers game. That doesn't guarantee anything, but if we increase our odds, that makes us more likely to succeed. And we can pull on people's experiences, science, experiments, and things that are around us to increase our odds. If I take drugs, drink alcohol, sleep a lot, don't exercise, I can increase my odds of poor health. If I eat healthy, track my calories, exercise regularly, sleep consistently, I can increase my odds of staying healthier for longer. That doesn't guarantee anything, but that's a very simple reference of how you can increase your odds. So I want you to get a piece of paper and write down goals. Take time to think about goals that you want. And if you have them written down, that gives you direction. And just like a ship that is aiming towards an island, it doesn't know if it's in the right direction if it doesn't know what island it's going for. It knows exactly if it's off course, if it knows where the island is and which direction it needs to go. Goals are like a North Star. They can give you focus and direction and purpose towards where you're going. And it also helps you know if you're off course. If you don't have goals, you don't know if you're off course. There in itself is a reason to sit down and take the time to write goals. Get a calendar slot for 2 hours in isolation and think about your goals and write on that paper as many goals as you want. I've got the I Am template, which has the 10 attributes, and I like to put goals in different areas. So that can help you think if you've got family goals, wealth goals, health goals, work goals, personal development goals, spiritual goals, and a few others that might give you some sort of balance around actually not just having all goals in one area of life. Ask yourself why you want the goals that you have written down. And what you can then do is start building a vision of who you want to be and why you want to do the things you want to do. The vision side of things speaks to the Ikigai. So your goals can be aligned to the Ikigai model. So the Ikigai model can help build that vision into why you do what you do. So we've talked about why to set goals. Writing them down is important, giving you reasons and purpose behind that, giving you direction and focus, and having a vision will bring that all together by writing it down and understanding your why. Now let's talk about what goals to set. This is nice and simple for me because actually what goals to set I can't tell you. I cannot tell you what to do at all, and nobody should. I can give you direction and I can help build on the goals that you might want to do, but I can't force you or tell you to do things that you should do. What I want you to do is just sit down and think about it. Take the time to figure out who it is you want to be, what it is you want to do, and then we can go from there. That's where when I look at people and help people, I'll start with, well, okay, what is it you want to achieve? What are you struggling with that I can help you with? Our Neanderthal mind looks for us to avoid pain and seek comfort. In modern day, we have a lot of luxury, a lot of comfort, even though we may not feel like it. So a perspective to flip is, don't think about your ideal self, think about your worst self. What does the worst version of you look like? And what things does that person do on paper? Look at that list, pick out anything on that list or the top 1 or 2 things on that list that you currently do and avoid them. A lot of success and being the best version of ourselves isn't necessarily or isn't all about aiming towards the great stuff. It's about sometimes not doing the bad stuff. So look at the worst version of yourself, see if on that list there's things that you currently do and try and avoid them like the plague. That is a great perspective flip which can help you realize, actually what I'm doing is completely damaging who I want to be or getting in the way of my current aspirational goals. As much as I can't tell you what to do, I can help structure that and shape that within the coaching that I do. But take the time, just literally take the time to sit down and figure out who you want to be, what you want to do, write it down. That's a tough process. As I mentioned earlier, the attributes can help shape the variety and balance of goals that can really ensure we have complete holistic goals. Okay, so next is how to set goals. So there's a template that you can find online quite easily. So SMART goals or SMARTer. So the S is specific, make sure it's quite specific to you. M for measurable, and there's milestones you can have, or actually a point where you've reached that success. You can measure it in some way. It's achievable within your current skill set or just beyond it, not too far out. It's realistic, so achievable and realistic sort of form together. Is it actually realistic for you to get there within the final one, which is T for time bound or time scale? Can you get there within that time scale? The ER, so is it ethical? And that's where the attribute model helps you think about, are your goals ethical? And that's another consideration to have within the SMART or SMARTer framework. And finally, is it rewarding? Is it something you actually want, or is it just something that society has told us we want and you've just then gone with that as a goal? So think about SMART as a template or SMARTer, with the ethical and the rewarding as an acronym to set your goals by. So specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound, ethical, and rewarding. That framework is widely used across the corporate world. It's something you'll come across quite easily when you search goal setting online, and it's something that I used as a template reference to make sure my goals hit all of those criteria. The one that a lot of people miss is time-bound. It's very easy to think that you can start something tomorrow or next week or delay it, and today doesn't matter. Everything matters. Not everything matters the same, but everything does matter, no matter how small. And if you get into that finite thinking of life is short, everything matters, I need to do it today, that can help you realize I need to set a time on this. And if you put a time limit on a goal that is infinite, like getting healthy, which you can do forever, and there's no limit and nobody's holding you accountable for that, or there's no consequences directly for not putting that on your high importance today, that's what I want to sort of bring to life. Actually, you need to put a deadline on this stuff. Because if you keep it going forever, as much as you want your health to be forever, you have to put a measure and a time on what you want by when. The second thing I'll encourage you to do is have a vision board. So first of all, expand the vision and think about as far as you can in the future. With your list of goals, see how long it will take you to achieve all of them. 0 to 1, which is within a year, 1 to 2, 2 to 5, 5 to 10, and 10 plus. If on your list of goals that you've got, most of your goals are 10 plus, consider what you can do in the next 6 to 12 months to get you closer to that, and think a bit more short term. If a lot of your goals you can achieve within the next year, think about expanding them and what you can do longer term. And actually, if you continue to do those things within the next 1 to 2, 2 to 5 years, and continue that for the next 10 years, where will you then be? And what does that look like on a 10-year plus lifetime basis? Think big, start small. A big goal could be climbing a mountain. The mountain can seem massive, overwhelming, but actually, sometimes when we lose focus, reminding ourselves of why we're doing what we're doing, i.e. getting to the top of the mountain, can help us regain focus. It can sometimes also be overwhelming, so starting small by taking that one step can help us get one step closer to the top of the mountain. James Clear talks about compounding in the book Atomic Habits. And very quickly, with a bit of consistency you can get very far very quick. Many people I speak to have dreams. However, less than 3% of people, according to a Harvard study, have their goals written down. Goals and writing them down is the first physical step of turning a dream into a reality. What we then need to think about is the habits and sort of the good habits that can help us get to our goals, and also the bad habits that we can avoid, which take us away from our goals, that can get us closer to those goals. And then the actions, the day-to-day steps, which bring that routine, get us into a habit and consistency, which get us to goal attainment, which help bring our dreams to life. So what we think affects how we feel, what we think and feel affects what we say, and all those things affect how you do what you do and how much confidence you bring to the people around you and environment. How to achieve your goals. First of all is the planning stages. Sit down, write the goals, and I can't reiterate how important it is to have the goals written down on a piece of paper and schedule time to do that. Once you've scheduled time and you've thought about your goals and written them down, schedule a time to review them. A nice window is 30 days. 90 days is when you can see progress towards those goals. But if you have a 30, 60 and 90 day checkpoint marked in your calendar, especially on your phone with an alarm, that can help you realize in 30 days, have I done anything or made progress towards that? If not, that can just recalibrate, actually, I need to do stuff within the next month to then make progress even further. And then at 90 days, you should see that progress if you've taken those steps. So what I want you to do is have those goals written down. That's how you can achieve them. Just write them down. If you write them down and do nothing more, then schedule another 30-day review of those goals. That will give you considerable more chance of success than not doing it. That's all I'm asking, to think about and write down goals. A month later, mark a calendar, checkpoint, to-do list, something that is going to set an alarm and trigger, I need to look back at that list in a month's time. Do that, and in a month's time, that will change your life. Simple as that. What you can additionally do is get a coach and somebody who can hold you accountable and help structure that for you. And that's what I do. I'll start with what's got them to where they are, understand their history and their past, understand what they, where they are at the moment, help build them goals today and help them go to where they want to go. But just structure that in a accountable way, which is essentially what a coach is. What I want you to be careful of is planning doesn't turn into over planning, and you can get caught up with thinking about it, take the time to think about it. But what you can get caught up in is over planning, which can turn into procrastination. Make sure your planning doesn't turn into laziness. And if you are at a point where you know enough to start, take action. I can't say this better than Nike's motto. Just do it. If you know what you need to do, there is a point in time where you just need to do it. Whatever comes up must come down. Your motivation, as it goes up, it's going to go down. Don't expect it to go up and stay up. It's going to go down. On those days it's down, you are not going to want to do the thing that is going to get you towards that goal. That is where consistency and discipline beat motivation. Motivation will help you start and gain momentum. Consistency will help you tick that box regularly enough to get you through the times where you may not want to do it. Typically, when you start a goal, you'll have good motivation. In the middle of achieving that goal, you're likely to have a dip, and that's where the consistency will help. And then when you're seeing progress and getting closer towards that goal, your motivation will increase again. But that middle bit is where people give up, because they're doing the work initially, but they're just not seeing the rewards for their actions. Just know it's all compounding, it's all layering up, and it's getting you somewhere. Keep the consistency no matter how you feel. There will be days where you give 50-60%. That's okay. That's absolutely fine. I will film for 3 hours at times to get 5 minutes worth of usable content. But when you're on it, sometimes you can give 100%. So I can film for 15 minutes and get a 15-minute bank of content that I can use in one take. So you'll just have good and bad days, but just keep that consistency is what I'd say. on how to achieve goals. That's the logic. You know it's going to get you there. So you know working out will get you healthy. You know eating an apple a day will help you be healthy internally. Fine. But then there's the emotional element. You might not feel like it. And it's that understanding of what's in your environment and giving yourself favorable conditions in your environment. So removing as many barriers as you can and making the things you want to do as easy to do as possible, removing resistance. So if you want to work out, having your workout clothes ready, where you know they're going to be, when you know you're going to be there. If you want to work out first thing in the morning, put your workout clothes next to your bed, sleep in them so you wake up and you go straight into a workout. But that's extreme, right? But that's the kind of things, like if you're in the kitchen and you want to eat healthy food, put healthy food on display. Those removal of barriers and making it easier to do the things that you want to do can help as well, on top of the emotions that you might feel, to know that actually I know physically and logically what I need to do, but I also emotionally want to make sure that when I'm not feeling like I'm in the mood to do them, I'm being held accountable and I have the conditions and the environment to help me do that. So look, thank you for watching. Thank you for engaging and getting this far in the video. Appreciate it. I hope this goal setting structure and what I've talked about helps you in some way. And write down your goals, just write them down. Like, I can't reiterate that enough. If you've liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. That helps me gain more traction and do more of this stuff. If anything has resonated with you and if anything is stuck, I hope it's that you've taken the time out, or you've planned to take the time out and write some goals down. Thank you for watching. Thank you for engaging with the channel. Bless as always. Peace out.